It's easy to see the appeal of a van-based mid-sized MPV. You get a lot more space than a more car-like people carrier of similar size, and for quite a lot less money. You can also see, though, why customers steer away from utilitarian models of this sort. After all, who wants to look like a delivery driver? So, what if you could have a 5 or 7 seat vehicle of this kind with more car-like looks and LCV-based versatility? That's what Peugeot's Rifter sets out to provide.
This deceptively spacious Gallic MPV is a lot more pleasant to drive than you might expect. You're not encouraged to throw the thing about, the steering's a bit too vague for that, but other more important attributes have been prioritised. For a start, the ride is excellent, soaking up the bumps without creating too much body roll through the bends. And refinement's not bad either, despite the vast interior space. And under the bonnet, well, there's a decent petrol option this time round, Peugeot's 1.2 litre 3-cylinder PureTech turbo unit. This puts out 110 HP in its standard form, or 130 HP if you order it with the brand's latest torque converter EAT8 8-speed auto gearbox. That auto transmission's an option if you order the engine we've been trying here, the top 130 HP version of the brand's familiar 1.5 litre BlueHdi diesel. This frugal unit can return up to 65.7 mpg on the combined cycle and a CO2 reading of 114 gram per kilometre. This BlueHdi power plant can also be ordered in 75 HP and 100 HP states of tune. Peugeot says that this Rifter is intended to bring dynamism to the van-based mid-sized MPV segment, which may be overstating things a bit, but at first glance it's certainly a little more visually interesting than practical products of this kind tend to be. This distinctive Peugeot family nose borrows from the Sharky look, pioneered by the second generation 508. From the side, you pick up the designer's intention to give this model something of an SUV vibe, delivered courtesy of heavily emphasised and strangely indented wheel arches, substantial swathes of black plastic lower cladding and standard roof rails. It all creates a chunky Tonka toy type vibe, suggesting that this Rifter might be up for the odd adventure. This time round in this segment, Peugeot is offering buyers not only this 4.4 metre standard body shape, but also an alternative 4.75 metre long body style, which is intended to deliver a lot more space for those wanting to get their Rifter fitted out with a third seating row. Let's take a closer look at boot space. Now, whatever way you specify this Rifter, its cargo area will be vast. This standard length model has 775 litres of boot space to the window line, or up to 3,000 litres if you were to fold the rear bench and load to the ceiling. And most models get a fold flat front passenger seat too. Activate that on a long wheelbase model and you could be looking at as much as 4,000 litres of total carriage capacity, and enough loading length to accommodate something as long as a kayak inside. If you just need the boot area, a nice touch is the way that the parcel shelf can be positioned at 2 heights and can take a reasonable amount of weight. Enough so as you could put the family dog on top of it, with your shopping safe below. Time to take a seat at the wheel, where quite a few changes have been made over previous models that Peugeot's offered in this segment. And one area of distinct improvement lies in the area of infotainment, courtesy of this large 8-inch capacitive centre dash screen, which comes fitted above entry-level trim. We'll get to that in a moment. But slightly more intriguing, though, is the other key enhancement, this one applicable to all models, the brand's much talked about so-called iCockpit design, which uses this much smaller little 2-spoke wheel. You view the dials over the top of its rim rather than conventionally through its spokes. We've saved arguably the best bit, though, until last: cabin practicality. If you were to add up the capacity of all the 28 different nooks and crannies available within the interior of this Rifter, you'd arrive at a figure of 192 litres, about as much as you'd get in the entire boot of a city car. Enough on what the front of the cabin's like. Let's take a seat in the second row. Now, both short and long wheelbase Rifter models offer access to this part of the car via these sliding doors. The sliding doors are rather heavy to close from the inside, and this format means you can't have door pockets either. Still, on the plus side, this second row offers enough space to suit a wide variety of passenger shapes and sizes. There are vast amounts of headroom, and because the centre transmission tunnel is virtually non-existent, it's straightforward to accommodate 3 fully sized adults if need be. In an ideal world, for many families, the perfect car would be one with SUV style and MPV versatility. A car like this one? Perhaps. And whether it makes more sense than its very similar Vauxhall and Citroën design stablemates is a key question, of course. But if you've a friendly local Peugeot dealer and the price is right, it could all be enough to seal the deal for what still remains one of the most versatile vehicles that sensible money will buy.